Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and how you can use it to eliminate self-sabotage and just live a healthier life. Before we jump into today's show, I just have a quick request for you. I have on my goal list 1 million new tappers. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to push 1 million new tappers, but that's just something I would like to see in the world. Because if we added 1 million new people who are using tapping in some regular way, 1 million people's lives would be better, and the way that they interacted in the world would be healthier, which impacts all of the people around us. That healing has that rippling effect, that when we are healthier, when we are standing in a place of our own power, when we're more comfortable inside of our own skin, it makes a huge difference for all of the relationships that we are in, because those relationships are a co-creation. And when we show up differently, the relationship has to change. And so could you do me a favor? Could you introduce the podcast to 1 or 2 people in your life? The most common way people find a podcast is an introduction from a friend. And I would be willing to bet many of the people in your life don't even know what a podcast is. So if you are listening to this on your mobile phone right now, hit pause, and I want you to text one person and tell them about the podcast. And there's 2 really easy ways to do that. You can send them to tappingpodcast.com, or you can just say, hey, send a text message to 33444 with the word tapping in the message, and they will get instructions on how they can listen to the podcast on an Android device or an Apple device, regardless where they're sending that text message from. And they'll get a chance to experience the amazing power of tapping. You're going to be helping them, and as an extension, you're going to be helping all of us. I appreciate you taking a moment to do that. It would mean the world to me, because you are going to reach people I will never reach, which is going to be a healthier place for them and a healthier place for all of us. This is Gene Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 334, originally aired October 24th, 2018. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is a little bit odd. We're going to be talking about tapping for not believing that tapping works. So stick around, it makes sense. Before we do that, just 2 quick announcements. First of all, we have a 10-part guide where you can use tapping to eliminate self-sabotage. All you need to do is go to tappingqa.com, click on the big blue button, and you will receive absolutely free the audios, the videos, the tapping scripts, the instruction, easy ways that you can use tapping every single day so you take the action that you want. If you happen to be listening in the website, up in the right-hand corner, you will see a blue button there. Click on that. For all of you who have been supporting the podcast, keep an eye out into your podcast catcher and your inbox. This month's bonus podcast for donors only is going out. It's all about boundaries, how we set them, how we come healthier with boundaries, and when you have those relationships in your life where you don't have good, healthy boundaries and people are taking advantage of you, we talk about how you can renegotiate those boundaries and do that in a healthier way. If you go to tappingqa.com/support, you will get access to this donors only podcast every single month, as well as a number of awesome other really amazing gifts. tappingqa.com/support. So like I said, it's a little bit weird that we are going to want to tap on not believing tapping works, because intellectually there seems to be a disconnect there. If I don't believe tapping is going to work, why am I going to tap on tapping to make it work for me? But the reality is, in most cases, there might be some disbelief about the tapping, but there's other resistance that is there. That there is a part of us that is afraid of healing. There's a part of us that's afraid we're going to try to heal this thing and it's not going to work and I'm going to fail one more time. There's just all sorts of resistance around healing. And intellectually, the way we mask or cover up or articulate that resistance is we say, well, I just don't believe the tool is going to work. It's just too weird. And I'm just thinking back through the last decade where I've been working with clients, the number of times I've tapped on, I don't believe this is going to work. And there's often a corollary to that, which is, I believe this works, but I don't believe it's going to work for me. So even though you are an active tapper, even though you do it regularly, or you're one of those people who listen all the time but don't actually use the tool set, I got an email from someone recently who said, I don't believe tapping works, and I've owned Gary's DVDs for over 10 years, and I listen to your podcast regularly, and I'm still not tapping because there's a part of me that's resisting it. And so that's an interesting story, that they don't believe it's going to work, but they keep consuming the resources and hoping that it will. So even if you are a person who is an active tapper, I encourage you to tap along with this. And if you are a person who is a hesitant tapper, I definitely encourage you to tap along to this. So tap on the side of the hand, take a nice big deep breath, and just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. There is a part of me that doesn't believe tapping works. It just seems too weird. There is no way that tapping on my body should provide health. There is no way something this silly looking could be useful. Even if it's worked for other people, there's a part of me that doesn't believe it's going to work for me. Even if I've had success in the past, there's a part of me that doesn't believe that success can be long-lasting. I appreciate the fact that I don't want to do something silly. I appreciate the fact that I don't want to waste time on this. I give myself permission to trust the process. I give myself permission to try, even though I don't believe it's going to work. I recognize the worst thing that is going to happen is I'm going to waste a few minutes and look a little silly. Even if tapping only worked 1 out of 20 times, it's worth looking silly for a few moments for that outcome. It's okay for me not to believe in this. It's okay for me to doubt. Nothing is going to go wrong if I try. It's not going to make my issue worse. The worst possible outcome is just wasting a few moments. I waste a few moments all of the time on silly things. I might as well waste a few moments hoping I will be healthier. I appreciate the fact that tapping works even when I don't believe in it. Tapping is a mechanical process that does not require my belief. I give myself permission to try. I give myself permission to know it is okay that I don't know exactly how to do this. I give myself permission to step into this in a way that is hopeful. Even though I don't know it's going to work, even though I don't know it's going to work, investing a few moments in trying to be healthier is worth a try. Nice deep breath. I love doing tapping like this with clients because you can literally see tension release in their face and a smile show up as they realize their resistance has been so silly and that it's time to give it a try. If you don't want to be stuck listening to this audio, but you still want to tap to this, if you go to tappingpodcast.com and click on the link for episode 334, you will see that I've included a printed out version of the script that you can print and take with you. Or if you've downloaded the Tapping Q&A app, which is available in the Apple App Store and the Android App Store, you will see that every single episode, including the audios, I also have a version of the script in the app. So all of the scripts that we've tapped along to for the last number of months is right there in the app. So you can just access them right there, which makes it easier for you to use. Again, I know this is a wacky topic to be tapping on, but it's something that you should do regularly just to clear some space and to clear any of that resistance that you have to trying and wasting time and looking silly. After all of these years, there are times in which I'm tapping and I just think, really? This is what I'm doing? This is so odd. And so this is a great way to clear all of that. If you haven't done so, please check out the Tapping Q&A podcast archives. Just go to tappingpodcast.com. There's over 150 hours of free audios. There's interviews, there's tap along audios, there's instruction. We're getting ready to do a number of really amazing interviews to work out through the rest of this year. Actually, after I finish recording today's podcast, I'm actually planning out the next 3 months of the podcast. And the ideas I already have are really great. I want you to make sure you get a chance to consume all of those. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a topic you'd like us to cover in the next few months, please let me know. Some of the best episodes have come from recommendations from people and listeners just like you. Gene, Gene at tappingqa.com is how you get a hold of me. I love getting your emails and I do respond back. Or if you're on the website, just click on that contact link up at the top. Very easy to send me an email or even a voicemail from right inside of the website. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Monterastelli. I hope you have a great day and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Monterastelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Monterastelli or Tapping Q&A.